Today is May 19th, 2024. I'm interviewing E.B. Snyder. My name is Barbara Byer. We're in Aventura, Florida, in the USA. The interview is in English. Please tell me your name.
I'm E.B. Stern de Schneider. De Schneider is because coming E.B. Stern from house and married De Schneider.
And can you spell that for me, please?
Yes. Stern is S-T-E-R-N. And Schneider is D-S-C-H-N-E-I-D-E-R.
And what was your name at birth? What did your mother name you when you were born?
Was Hannah Appel.
No, what did your mother name you when you were born?
I shame to tell you, it's called Sura Kraindi.
And can you spell that?
Kraindl is a crown on Yiddish.
What did your mother call you?
Kraindi. And the house and all people know me Kraindi. Pero this name was nobody understand not to tell. So I are Romanian, my name is Vioara. And Vioara is a flower from Violeta. And Hungarian Violeta is Ibi, Iboya. So I arranged my name along.
And how old are you today?
Today I am 98 and a half. In September I will be 99.
What's your birth date?
6th of September, 1925.
And where were you born?
I born in Timișoara, in Transylvania, from the place from Dracula.
And what city were you born in?
In Timișoara. It was not a very big city, but a Rosen city. Only roses. Nice, small. No mountains, no nothing, all flat.
And where did you live in Timișoara?
I live in Piazza Traian numero 4. Piazza Traian is a place what on the morning they were selling, and 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it was the place ready for people, for music, for when Hitler was speaking, on this place we heard the Ramkol, from Germany. He was speaking. The people all come to this place to hear what he spoke.
And what were they selling in the morning?
What
were they selling in the morning when you said they were selling?
Food, flour, butter things, all. Pero they bring it, they had places, they bring it, 12 o'clock, they take all off, the cleaner was coming, and the same place was the children with bicycle and walking. And
so it was like a marketplace?
I can tell what I remember that is like a market. When the mother was looking for me, only by the flower he find me. I can go out there and I was looking. Now on this time, all the names from the flower. Hours I could look all the flowers. School was already closed, very early, okay. They closed the school and they was telling the people, they don't tell go to another school. Pero my mother was looking what place. And the father was telling, I don't want that my children going there. Because 4 children, okay? 3 girls, 1 boy.
And tell me about the 3 girls.
The
Tell me who your sisters were.
One was calling Tzipora, Sheps, and the second one in Israel, they give her the name Tzipi Schlisser. And
Then you,
I was Romanian Vioara
and then you
Stern, Vioara Stern.
and then you had a brother. What was his name?
The name from him was Hershey on the house, pero when he left the house, they call her Eric. Pero the name from him is Hershey.
Who was the eldest?
The Feige, the Tzipora.
And then comes,
Then comes the boy. I am the third one, and another one was 4 years, ever 2 years. And the fourth one was 4 years. He was Tzipi.
and tell me about them. Tell me about your sisters and your brother.
The sister was older for me for 4 years. Okay, he born in 21, and he was a good eater. He was strong, and he loved to read. And the father give her because he don't help on the house and he is reading. Can you imagine it? Okay. He all the time tell her on Yiddish, was telling her, the lest schon wieder. She's reading again. Okay. When she have time, she was reading. I don't know what kind of book she was reading, pero he was reading. Okay. And then he had we had a place, the Zionismo. So we was inside on a club from Mizrahi. From Mizrahis, more religious people. And she find a boyfriend. The name was Sheps. Okay. And this was the boyfriend what she married her. Okay. And she was on the house or not on the house. I don't know the life. We was living not on floor, down, parterre. So, because the father had to work, so on December she was selling dates and Rozenkelech and all this. So she had to take the merchandise outside and bring back. So they use us to help. This was the life.
And tell me about Hershey, your brother. Tell me what you know about him.
Hershey, when the German take the people, the men and the sons, to another place to make for train rails. And they take all these people to Deva. It's another city, and never again I see him. I see him late when I already was in Caracas. I went to see him. He was in another city, close inside, with a German family, and the man from the family was making carteras, small and big carteras, what you have, what you are taking on the hand, purse, with the hand made, very, very, very nice. I will show you if you want. Very nice work she was making. And he studied him because he have on the hand much, he knows handwork. Like I don't know handwork, I only was like to work with the head. no with hand. And he come out from there. They was giving him to eat, to sleep, and to study, and he was there inside till he went. When it was a little better after the Nazis no more, the Russians are inside. He went on the feet on the mountains to arrive to Marseille
In France?
in France. And then he went to France and no more we see him more. Okay. He don't have no the money, no papers, no nothing. Pero he married and divorced and, existentialist. Like here the people from the street, all this long hair. And he was learn yeshiva in Timișoara with a rabbi all day. He went to the school 3 hours and the rest on the yeshiva. Pero living on the house till they take him to it's called Munka. Munka, this was arranged. They take the father from the house and the son. And the mother stay on the house with the 3 girls inside on the pivnica, on the sotano. And the European sotano are very, very bad. That is earth downstairs and it have no light and this is a trauma to speak from this. And there we was living because the German was coming on the night and club on the where are the girls? And the mother, so small she was, she go out and open the door and tell, and this house is not girls, only I am here. Okay, and so we was passing much nights and much days. She afraid to take us to come out because they was only looking on this place for girls. Okay, no ropa, no nothing.
And tell me about Zipporah.
Zipporah married and go away with the husband, and they had a child. The child was okay, pero not okay, because when we arrived to Israel with the child, the army don't take him. He don't have, I don't know what was wrong, pero if army don't take a child, something is wrong. He went to the army, he left, he don't come back, he don't had hours, no education, no parents, no house, no education. Okay, this exactly what happened to me. Okay, for this why I cannot make social work, because I don't know. My writing is not good. I don't study. All what I know is Schneider, who study me to eat, to go, to speak, to eat in a restaurant. I even don't know to go that existing a restaurant. He studied me all. This was my husband and also the parents. Okay, he was 4 years older. 4.
So you started to tell me about where you were living. You said it was on the bottom floor?
Bottom floor.
And tell me about it.
Oh, this was terrible, because it had 1 floor, a house, 1 floor, okay, downstairs and 1 floor upstairs. Upstairs was living a German sister and brother, Herzdörfer. This was the Hitler. And another room was living 4 girls, what they are working by night on the street. Okay, they call curves. Okay, and on the other side was from Serbia, but we don't know to speak to them because we don't know Serbish. So this was upstairs, and downstairs was only living Meilach Stern, my father, with the 4 children, and 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 by the entrance was a store what they sell for making houses, uh, iron and package and one by and this was what the store had to leave this. So we was by Eingang we see all the merchandise for the store. And across from this merchandise was living a family gypsy, real gypsies, because he was a musician, and on the night when he come back drunk, he was ever giving for the wife. Sometimes on the morning we find outside package of hair, what she was taking her out, and the wife, 6 days we don't see her more. So sick she was from the. He was the wife humiliated. Yeah, they don't have children. They don't have children. And she was a good woman. Okay, this was our neighbor. It was only two apartments, the gypsies and me. We don't had only a cat. For the food was left over, that we have a cat, and the mother tell that on the sótano is some suri. This what is going, and the cat was eating this. So for this we had one cat. That's all. You can this picture. Yeah, you can this picture to see it or no? You can. I was so young and I don't have money for nothing. I even don't know you can go to the mother to tell, give me something. I even don't know she exists. We don't see. We was very religious on the house. We only eat cake when the mother was something. But we don't have money to go to buy a chocolate. So this is not my life. So Sunday morning, I take the small sister and I take the neighbor. Was a big coffee place, a restaurant, and it had a black girl. She was singing, and nobody see a black girl. So she was singing with my sister, friend, and the same age. And she come, and my sister, and more too. And I was the directing. By 12 years, I'm already made. I ever forgot this to tell for my daughter. And I was making movie. And I tell all the neighbor to come and to look what we was dancing Hungarian dance, Romanian dance. We was singing what we know. And without, I don't know what we was showing there. and they was giving us one lei. So when it was ready, I had to pay for the artist, and I remained with 3 leis. This was my money. And what we was buying some, I had a small a store from caramelos, from chocolate. What left over, he makes such a package, and put inside, and there's 1,000 lei, 1,000 mean sweets inside. All what left over. This we was buying for 1 lei because it was, and we was eating the junk what left over on the cases. Pero we was very, very, never I see a doctor in my house. We grow up without doctors, okay. 4 children, never I see. But my mother, we had aspirin when we are sick, and we have when we are fever. She make from what you're sleeping, how you call a sheet, a cold water sheet, put us inside with the fever on the sheet. We get up, the fever was over, okay? And when it have pain here, she give us to drink like vodka. It's called Zuika, okay, but it's like vodka. To drink a little from this. This was the medicine. And when we had on the head, what is going, how you call, on the head, lice. She take petrol, put petrol on us, and this was, we don't know from another medicine. And all was coming out healthy.
What was your mother's name
Hannah, Hanne,
and her maiden name before she was?
Apple,
Can you spell that?
Apple, Appeil, Apple, or maybe one up. I don't believe these people now that it have to be two. The mother was sending, they was not from this city. They come from Siget, Maramuresh. And the mother, when she had a little money, she sent that the father don't know. She sent me to the post office to send for the mother the few what she made for the mother and Siget. So for this I know the address. He wrote, Prive, Hannah.
What was your grandmother's name?
Prive.
And what did you know about her? Had you met her before?
The grandmother was coming to visit Hannah, the daughter, okay? Because Hannah had another sister, Rosa, and Rosa had no children. The Rosa was already rich. This was the richer, because the husband was from Belgrade. Belgrade is very near to Temesvar, and he was selling carpets. He had a car, you know. And this time, and 30 to have a car, okay, it was a big thing. He put inside on the car the carpet and go outside and sell with another man. They sold carpet. And she was coming all Sunday to visit Hannah and to see the children. She don't have children. And we was waiting all Sunday that the Rosa come. She was giving one lei for, but she was giving the money at 7 o'clock afternoon. We was sitting, and we was waiting that she will give us one lei. Sometimes she was taking me on her house, but I don't feel well there because I don't have children, I don't have friends, I don't have nobody. I all the time was crying, I want back, okay?
How about the grandfather? Was
The
there a
what?
grandfather? Was your grandmother married?
Yeah, pero I don't, not on my time. I never know him.
Tell me about your mother. Tell me what kind of personality she had.
She is like un santo. You know what is a santo? All people like her. He was differente from me, differente. A quiet, she's a Levi, you know. In Jewish you have Levi, Israel. The Levis are the best people from the, okay. She was quiet. She don't have friends. She only know work, okay. She was cooking and she was washing and she was, we go on a Romanian school. We don't have two uniform. We have only one with a white, black, here white, and here a ribbon. The ribbon, if you don't make it all day fresh, it's not looking nice. So she would get up in the morning, she was the white ironing and making this, and she don't look if we are making the lecture or we don't make. The father don't know. The father don't know to read, only Yiddish. So I study him to read, to write the name. Okay. Pero he pay me. I had, she bring me the newspaper to see what's happened. If I read him the whole newspaper, he was giving me only. So I come, I was read. I know to read and know to write, pero the history, what I study for Dracula, it was not, must be I was very smart because I don't have interest to her. All the, who was the big Stefan and who was Vlad Cepes, and this is all not interessante, only for Romanian. So I don't study very good. I make 1 year repetido.
What was your father's name?
Melach,
And where was he born?
on Siget. Not on Siget, Aldea Chiquitico, where my mother, it's called Berbesht. Berbesht, very small place. And the mother had another boyfriend, pero they don't have from what to live, so the grandmother take the three sisters. They was on the house, Cili, Rosa, 3 sisters, sent to Budapest, all the 3 for to work on houses, like working, you know, like
Your mother was the middle child? Was she in the middle?
My mother was 3 also, 2 girls and 1 boy. The mother, 2 girls. The Rosa was the rich girl. My mother was the work and poor, and the boy was working on where the coffee is making in Rehovot.
What was his name?
Her name Yosef Leib Appel. He was working on Maon, how you call that place? It's very big.
An estate?
No, in Israel already.
Kibbutz?
They arrived to Israel, and this was the work from him. And in Timisoara, he had a big place, but they had a wagon and a horse, and he had to take the soda water to the houses. Okay, this you know also. So he was from a small aldea, but they don't learn nothing. So he was taking the soda water, and they put us on Jewish school. And this was our life.
Tell me about your father. What kind of personality did he have?
He was not a good father because he don't know to be better. Okay, he was six brothers, 6 brothers and 1 girl, The 1 girl come to America before all, and they don't give her to come in. She made the trip back to Timisoara, and then after I don't know how many months, they take her again on the boat, and then they give her to come in. 2 times he made America. This is the sister. This is all what is not interessante for no people. Okay, my story is a sad story. Okay.
What language did you speak at home?
On the house we speak Hungarian, pero on the street the Romanian don't give us to speak Hungarian because they ever was in and fight. So on the school Romanian, and on the street Romanian, and on the house Hungarian. And the mother and father, they were speaking Yiddish.
And did you understand what they were speaking when they spoke Yiddish?
You know, I know German perfect. Okay, I speak German very good, not ein Wort, I speak completo.
Tell me how many languages you speak.
I speak 6.
Can you tell me what they are, please?
Hungarian, Romanian, German, Spanish, Hebrew, Yiddish, and English a little. A little. You know, I never learn a language. I tell you the truth, I don't learn nothing. What I know for myself. Pero I'm a good worker. You can put me all work, I made it.
What relatives lived near you?
What?
What relatives lived near you in Timișoara?
And Timișoara, all from, not from the Goy, because we don't have kasher with Goys, only Jewish. So they mostly was speaking Hungarian.
Yeah, but who was related to you? How many people were related to you that lived near you?
Related, only the brother from my mother, who was in Weizmann Institute working. The first coffee, you remember that Israel want to make coffee. He was working in Institute Weizmann all the time.
But he lived near you in Timișoara?
In Timișoara. And this was the only relate. And the father, my father, one brother, from the 6 brother, one was living in Timișoara. They have 2 children, and another one had 2 girls. So this was the related. And at the school, we was in a very good Jewish school, and the school was rich children. They was eating banana. But nobody know in Timișoara what is una banana. This is not a tropical, so rich these children was. They had industry from textile and rich people, but not Orthodox people. The Orthodox people, they was living in an area like a ghetto, you know? To go to the synagogue, to send me Friday to cut the chicken, you know this life. And Shabbat he make a chulent and put on to take the chulent to cook all night. And Saturday, before coming from the synagogue, I had to go to pick up the chulent. This was all my job.
Where did they cook the chulent?
What place they make the bread. The bread is a place where they make bread, but Friday, it's over the bread, they take a top inside all with pergamena written Stern. And my father was written, so big S, Stern written, because they afraid that they don't change the top. This was for Shabbat. My mother was cooking from 1 chicken Friday evening, Saturday, and Saturday night, you know, you have another, what is called Avdallah, Avdule, you know. All make from this 1 chicken for all people.
What did your mother put in the chulent?
And the chulent, very simple. First he put inside the white beans. Then he put a little, making a little, how you call the small one?
Peas?
No, barley. No potatoes. He put inside 1 zanahoria, because it's not too sweet. Okay. He make a zwiebel, onion, no cut it, completo. They put a little you know what is pieces, knobbel. How you call what it smell? Or not all people like it.
Turnips?
How?
Turnips, maybe?
No, another.
That's okay.
Very good because this was giving a little time. And then he put inside from the guns because we eat all the time guns because we don't have oil. So the mother take off from the from the white, not the white. She was giving. She buy a small one and giving the food inside on the mold. How you call this? Not chicken, a white. No turkey, no turkey.
Duck?
Duck, duck. From the duck he take off and he was making Friday. From this he was making for to have for the winter the oil and the griven they make with potatoes. This was our lunch, very good, okay? And he take out the liver. This has liver big, so we are pate the whole. This was our dinner. Handmade bread with pate and cold oil and red paprika. This was our food, what we was eating.
What was your favorite food?
The favorite food? To tell you the truth, I am very bad eater. You know, now I'm the old, I change all the menu. I don't like nothing, okay?
When you were younger, what was your favorite food?
You know, pasta with sugar and nuts. We eat, you know, the nuts is, and what I was eating on the house, beans we was eating, potatoes. Meat, I never like meat. Never I like meat. We only don't had much meat because a guns was for a whole week, you know. And they make from a guns even smoked. All from the same guns he made smoke. This was a food. He put inside on the cholent one of these filled up what you have inside. All inside on this pot and butter till the end, and this was cooking the whole night.
How did you get along with your neighbors that were not Jewish?
The Serbian, we don't know to speak. And ever somebody died there. I don't know who was. I don't was understand. Yesterday I see her, today he died. Okay. The 4 curves what was living, they was very good. They send me with a paper, take this paper on this store for this man. And then he was giving me something, and the father hold, see that I have to deal with this girl. First I received the 2 this, and never again I go near this apartment. And the Fräulein Hesdorfer, she had a place for to make dresses. The husband, this was not husband, the brother was living with the brother. I don't know the brother what was making, but she had the biggest apartment, was opening to the plaza, you know. And she take me to a friend, but was coming the German soldiers to visit her. And he was telling for the friend who had, I go to learn to Pero I don't was good because I don't had interest. Pero you don't could go to Israel from Timisoara if you don't have a work. Okay. I was very young, pero I went 2 years to this girl. The mother had to pay her to hold me. Okay. And, I went to buy for the girls what working ice cream and chocolate, what they sent me. I was like a chick-jingle, yeah, you know. Pero from sewing, pero I know how to make a dress. I know how he have to make a dress, pero I'm not enough handy on the hand. And Shabbat, we don't can work, you know, because my parents was very Orthodox. So he gave me for Sunday work on the house to take a old piece and to make it in pieces, you know, because from this he was making pants or blouse, I don't know. I had to come back Monday morning and bring in pieces what he gave me. And the mother was working to help me because the Mrs. Hersdorfer, and he was using so bad words for me. She was telling me, you don't know German, nothing. Sie sind ein Rindsviech. ¿Sabe qué es Rindsviech? You are like un animal, like you are like an animal. Or you are, how you call the animal what have on the head? You are like a tree. A terrible word he was using to me. And was using, when the German come to visit her, then it was happiness on the house. He was preparing and giving him to eat. He come, you know, dressed normal, you know, not like Hitler, pero soldiers, okay? And he was telling, if these soldiers know that you are a Yid, they kill you here. I tell, why they kill me? I don't make him nothing. Why he have to kill me? Okay, this I answer. And then when the dress was ready, they sent me to pick up for the lady. So this was my life, but I was preparing for to go to Israel.
And tell me, you said you went to the Romanian school. How many grades did you complete?
I make the Jewish school, I made about 4 class, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I had to make 6, 7. So I don't arrive because they close. And the father there, he was not so smart. He was smart, but not intelligent. So he was telling, she know to read and to write. It's enough for a girl. So he was telling, okay.
What was your favorite subject that you had to study? What did you like to study?
First I like the people. Then I like flowers. Then I had only, you know, on the end, when you receive the paper, the numbers, how you was study, it was written, sung, very good. To act on the school that you don't, very good. Purtare, canto, and imagination, very good. And pero I had 4. Pero when the father, all is bad. Historia bad, mathematica bad, geografia bad, all bad. Only this was the good. Singing, you know, like an empty person, okay. And I don't know till now what is the word? This imagination, you know? You know, when you see all, this is also they was study on the school, okay? Pero from the rest, if I don't make the housework, I don't make. I come back from the flowers, from the see the vitrinas from the stores, and then I come back. And when it was raining, we don't have only one shoe. Look, one shoe for winter, and on the summer, we was much going without shoes, okay, much. Pero I don't know how I passed. When I was 11 years, I already looked for to make money. I know what is the bottles from the soda water. I tell who want to sell me. And I was going to the factory because this was a real bottle with this. And then I make a little. Then I buy a dress, I buy a pair of shoes, I even buy a ring. I don't know what if this was wrong. And I was dressing. When I left to Israel, this was my package. A coat, the coat had a hat, a dress, a short, a blouse, and this no, because we don't was wearing this. How you call it?
Bra.
Bras, no bras. And this was what I go to Israel. This was my luggage. What I go. And on the way, it was so long this way that I sold the whole clothes because even it was no more. For me, this was the all. I sold for one package of from the train. We went from Constanța. This is the port of Romania to Syria. And on the way, we stop in Aleppo and coming.
We'll get to that. Let's go back to Timisoara. Where did you go to the synagogue? Where was the synagogue?
It was 3 synagogues: Spanish, Ashkenazi, more Hungarian. We are going to the Orthodox Hungarian, but we have the rabbi.
What was his name?
The rabbi, Sofer from Germany, very nice rabbi. Because, but I tell you, the turkey, you have to, when you cut the turkey and you go to and the turkey have here something, not the bones, only on what is this?
Skin.
The skin. We had to go to the rabbi, and the rabbi picked this and pick it big, and if this is not clean, the turkey was not kosher. Did you heard this or never? Never. This was the rabbi had to make this, okay? And he was a German rabbi, a very nice person. Then he put a paper, not kosher. Then was the problem. To go to sell this, cut it in pieces, and what we eat Shabbat, and this was a end from the world. Okay.
What was your favorite Jewish holiday?
Purim.
And why? Why was that your
Because
favorite?
Purim, we make shows, we go to the houses, and they are giving one they like, they giving you one lei, or if we are 2, they give for all. And this was you see, because we don't receive from the house nothing. I don't have with what to play. We play from empty schachtels, what you throw out. This was our
Toys.
toys. Okay, so we was happy with this also. We go to the store and we ask, you have empty from paper, you know. One they was giving us. I have a very heavy childhood, very heavy. Not only poor, not only this was not poor because I really don't tell that I was hungry, because the mother was making the best what she can make. Okay. I was a good child. Later I go to Israel all year to see her. The 14 year I was 15 times. All year I went back and I bring her. She was like, you know, like a hormiga, like she take care of all. When she died, like I bring her, so the big sister tell me she found all arranged inside.
What year did she pass away?
She passed away in the year I don't remember, but she was 91. And the father died very early. When my daughter born in 52, he passed away in 52.
Where were they living when they passed away?
Israel, the boat in Israel, the children. And they don't have money for a house, so they went to live a little far away. It was no street. So we had a car, a Jeep. All the time was broke because it was the street so bad, so on. This was our very poor life. But on this time, I don't know this is called poor. I don't know. I know that I don't have. But I don't was feeling that I'm poor. I see that all people have, I don't have. Okay? And so I grow up. For this, when I married Schneider, he learned me, he showed me, he take me. She had one failure. He had 1 million de amigos, you know, 1 million. He was only one child in the house. So he liked people. I come from the work. At the 14 days I was working already. I make, if I can live in America, I had to have money. So he bring me all evening people on the house. He had so much friends like you never see. And I tell him, I don't have strange. We have 2 children. I have my work. I have we don't have capital, so if I don't sell the dresses on the week, I don't can go to buy new dresses. I don't have without money capital for working. So I tell we have to make it. And he was such a good person. He finished and he want to go to Jerusalem to learn when you work with money, how you call this?
Finances?
Finance. This is what she want to go to learn. And I don't give him to go because I was stupid. Okay. But I don't go, I tell, I have the work to make parnasa for the house and the children. And you don't can leave me with 2 children. So he was a good boy. He tell, okay, then I don't go. All the friends went to learn from the school to learn.
Where was he born, your husband? Where?
This what
Where was he born?
He born in Chernovitz. Okay.
And where did you meet him? Where did you meet him?
when I was in Timisoara, I lived there, and he take me a little. This was first time when I go on a train. He take me to Chernobyl. In the meantime, was coming the war, and he want to go back because they had a store from material for men's, and this boy was working, and he was promised he will take him and he will help him, because Chernobyl was already bad, and this time, then we don't could stay there, and I tell, come we go to Timisoara, where I am.
What year did you get married?
And I mean 47, I mean.
What was his name?
The same
husband?
place, now I already back to Timisoara from Chernobyl.
And what was your husband's name?
Yuli Schneider.
How long were you married?
I mean 30 years. I don't know if it's okay. 30 years. Because I remember I already had a little money, and I want to make a party for 25 years, to make the party, and he died on the same day when my son go married to São Paulo, to Brazil.
What year was that? What year did he pass?
I tell you, the years I don't remember very well. Pero if he married, he must be 22, 23. This was the age when the people was married.
When you were in Timisoara and you said you had a very good imagination and you like shows and things like, what was available culturally as far as movies and theater?
We had much movies, pero it was coming the movies on English. And I went with him to the movies, pero I don't understand nothing. And he understand, he explained me a little. This was and we had a park, you know, on this age, the park, we go to the park, pero not on the Hitler time. The Hitler time, we stay on the house, on the night, never go out, okay? The mother put us, the father more not on the house with the brother, and the mother hold us down, he bring us to eat. We thought to have light with a candle, and to go inside on this place, today I have, this was the terrible.
Where did you live with your husband?
Then the husband was from a rich family. They have in another city what they take from the earth, mineral water, and they put on the bottles and they sell the mineral water.
But when you were married, where did you live?
In Israel. I marry him in Israel, and we live in Israel, and from Israel we have the 2 children married, and we left from Caracas to America on a boat from 560 people. This I remember exactly. And
What was the name of the boat?
Salahadin, a small boat for so much people. It don't was a boat, it was a fishing boat. And put inside like a lager, you know, the corners. They put you inside, and I don't eat never on the boat.
It left from where and it was going to where?
From Romanian to Israel. From Romanian to Israel, to Haifa. And in Haifa begin the new bad life, the heavy life. We stay on Atlit, where the English people was living before, and the camp from the English people. This was Palestina. It was much Arab on the street, pero they don't was like now the Arabs. They was different. They was Arabs. I remember my best work was before Pesach because they put me to pack the matzahs on a factory. So I was working on a typography, what is pictures with gold. I had to clean the gold. When I come back from this typography, I was all gold because it's coming to the eyes. I work all kind of work. If I don't like it, I go again to the place and I tell, this work I don't like. Then I was young and, more, then they shipped me in another place. I made 1 month 7 lira a month was costing how I received for a month. Now from 7 lira, I stay on the house for my aunt. They take a bed. The bed give me Israel, give me when I arrive, a bed from iron, a very small, very small, and one gray to cover. So I have so that aunt take this bed.
Which aunt was that?
This aunt what make 2 times Timisoara, America.
What was her name?
Margit. When the Margit Neni on the night bring me in the bed and on the morning put out the bed. And this what I was sleeping. And on the roof, it was not a house, it was a prepared house. It was all the night was the walking. I was so afraid to sleep, pero I don't tell no one word. No mother, no father, no sister, nobody. Okay.
Where were they all?
The brother I tell you went. The sister married 2 ships. Okay. And the small sister remained with the mother and father and Timisoara, and I alone in Miami, in Israel.
Were you married at that time?
I was already married, pero he don't was working in the place, and we don't had money. So he was working in Benjamina, where the English people was living. So till the English was inside, he was okay. He was bringing sometimes 600, but he had so much friend that he make 2 dinners. I asked him, tell me, these people don't have to pay, only you? And he answered me, for me the friends are more like you. So he was telling me, first he don't want to marry me. He tell me, no, I had a girl in Chernovitz and I have to marry her, I promised her. Okay, I tell, okay, I love you, I stay with you without marriage. Till the sister come and was telling, look, Yuli, if you don't marry her, I take her away from you today. So he shamed, he tell me once, he shamed, he tell, okay. So we went to the rabbi, to the house. I make the sandwiches before marriage, and then he come too late to the marriage because he was working in Benjamin. Pero all was over.
Let's go back to Timisoara and tell me about what you felt when the war was starting. How was it for you when the Germans came in?
You know, I read newspaper because the father give me only. So we was living very bad because the food we could buy only when they clean but left over, then we can go out to buy. We don't have house, but place to stay, because it was not, they take the father and we don't have only one door. And the mother had what place to sleep, pero she can't go not out because we was walking from the window. The door was where the Nazi was living with us inside. So the mother, we could go from the window, pero the mother don't could go. So we bring all home. And this was a very heavy life after, very heavy. We don't could go on the street, only after 12 o'clock out. We afraid, we afraid when somebody by the door. We live, we don't have a bathroom because these houses don't have to go to the bathroom, only one outside. And then till today I am suffering from this. This I have from this time, because when I had to go, I don't go because we don't have no place and no, the whole house downstairs had only one bath. Okay. And then I arrived to Israel. Jebelia was also a terrible place.
You said that the marketplace, you heard Hitler speak. Was there a time where you heard Hitler speaking?
All day. All day on the end, what island, it called island, and the island have a big microphone, and he was speaking to the people. Wir sind die Deutsche, wir werden nicht, wir werden vorgehen, wir sind Arbeiter, wir sind nicht kein, the life from him, and he was telling what he have on the head, what he will. This is what I remember. And speaking that the whole place can hear.
Can you translate what you just said in German to
That-
English?
Because you asked me what he was telling.
Yeah,
He
tell me.
was telling from what he is, that he is Adolf Hitler, and he speak to the people. Wir sind keine Lumperei. Lump is like a person spending and not. Wir sind keine Lumperei. And then they put the songs. I know all the songs what I heard, okay?
German songs?
The German songs. Nicht nur Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. No. It was songs like soldiers. Like the soldiers are walking. So on the evening, like 7 o'clock, come the speech from him. The Jewish don't go out to her, pero we was children. Children because I was already in this year a big girl, like 12 years, 13 years, 12, so about must be. So we don't know to afraid.
So you said you were born in 1925,
25,
and the war started in 1933.
33, pero it don't start in Romanian. It was in all places till he arrived. I am from south, till near Dobroja, near till they arrived to us was time to prepare. We went to the Zionim, like Maccabi, yeah. Went. The father was very upset. He told they are communist. My father was telling that they are communist, the Zionim. So we go there, and they study us. We go Saturday after the lunch, And we eat bread like 5 o'clock. This was the Kabbalah. This was, and we was young. We was singing the songs, but they study us, and they study us, preparate for Israel.
What restrictions did the army put on you, did the Nazis put on you? What couldn't you do in Timisoara?
They send us, to clean the offices, but they have they come together, the German, they take these young girls to wash the floors. Pero not washing floor with we had to sit down and wash the floor. And then after this floor washerai, I went to study, to sew. Then I could not go like they tell me, and they, I don't know if they forgot or they don't call me more, pero it was like 3 times on the week. They put together girls to go to wash the.
How dangerous was it?
We don't know on this day from danger because we don't know what happened in Germany. We don't have radio. I read the newspaper, but they want to write a Romanian for my father. I also don't was. I only read for him. Okay. And
We break for a minute. Okay.
we see when it was finished the war. We don't know on the wartime nothing from Germany. We know that they don't can clean the clothes, and the mother was telling, pero they have water. Why they don't can clean? We don't know what happened there.
What happened to you, though? What happened to you in Timisoara with the Nazis and the Russians?
Nazi was living on the house. For this, we was happy people because we stay on the apartment. Okay, we don't have the door to go out from the apartment. Only so. Pero and the mother was cooking for him and washing and making all. So and I play with him bagamon, and this was the life. Okay.
So at what time did you feel danger?
I mean, like 39, 30, about, see, like 39, the German left. And before they left, they was very bad. But I see the German to go out from there. They don't had more the belt, okay? The jacket was open, okay? And going and singing. Wir sind Soldaten, okay? All the German songs, they was not marschiert, pero they was walking on feet to go out. They take back the soldiers from Timisoara. And the second day arrived the Katyushas, the Russian.
And how was that?
This was lauter gunners. They was open the restaurant, open the stores. They was taking the nightgowns for evening dresses. They was terrible. They was only one girls, and when we was telling them we are Jewish, they tell all we are also Jewish, but it's not true. They want to be nice, and the Russian, we don't like the Russian.
And why was that?
Because they was not nice people. They was like murders. Okay, they was worse as like the German. Okay, and then I go to learn for Israel, and I left and I never go back. I only go back from Israel. Pero I left the house in 43 because 44 I already arrived after a long trip and I had already 18 and they don't put me more on the school. So I don't could learn more and this was all my life, okay? They was preparing for the families what place to take us. And this paper was not ready. So they need a little more time. This was our luck because Romanian went inside to Hungarian, okay? And the Jewish people went back from Romanian to Hungarian. And it was a mishmash for this. We don't could speak even the language. And this was the time.
How did the Romanian government treat the Jewish people?
Like Germany, like Germany. You know, I was too young. It was enough that I only heard what is not interessante for me. Oh, nothing. It was like street woman. Like I tell you, I go to the plaza to look the flowers instead to go to learn. Okay.
But you said it was a terrible time. What was so terrible?
Because when the Jewish with the bard go, they take off the bard.
Who did? Who did that?
The Romanian German. Okay. They beat the people. We had a friend, my big sister Feige, Tzipora had a friend. She became blind from the clapperai. The synagogue was closed. The Shakhtar no more the same life. Okay, and then we left, and the people who remained was old people because the younger left. So
Tell me about the day you left Timișoara.
I even don't know where I'm going. I had the boyfriend, okay, and he take me to Czernowitz. Pero Czernowitz, when we arrived, was very bad. We don't could go inside. Then we go to Bucharest. And Bucharest was joined, and the husband for my sister was working and joined, you know, to help. And he tell us is another boat if we want to go inside. Pero Vilti decided the boat was no more place. We have to wait for the second boat. And this boat, but we had to go inside, torpedo. And all 216 people died. This was the best people from Romania and from young, all died, okay? And then the second boat is our Salahadin. Nobody want to go more on the boat. Pero I have nothing to lose. I tell I'm going, okay? And this was a trip, you know, we sit inside up in these places, and the people was throwing out of this was a sickness to be there. I don't go out from this hall 12 days. No eat, no nothing. One day, when the boat had no bussola, he was on the Black Sea, and he don't know where he is. So he make all the time, the boat make, because it was only a fishing boat, and the owner from the boat, the Mr. Salahadin, left and leave the people on the boat underwater. Okay. Pero I don't know from this because I was inside. Pero the people tell me how we are alone, we don't have help. Then we arrive, pero the boat trip was under all control.
So how did you find your way to Israel without the captain on the boat?
The captain, we don't find the captain.
No, how did you find your way to Israel?
To Israel,
How'd the boat get there?
we arrived to Constanza, where the boat have to park. Okay. And from Constanza was coming in Palestine the train and put us inside on a train and take us to Aleppo. And when we arrived, the English people was taking care of us, the English people. Pero they give us to drink tea with milk. And this is coffee. So we throw out this. And they take me out in a targa, because I could not walk, if you don't eat nothing, and put that inside on the train. In the train, they give us a fish on a zakuska. This is a fish like what you eat on the night, how you call it? From pieces, fish.
Filet?
No, it's like a sardina, pero no es sardina. It's this you give us to eat. I eat this with bread, and after that I became a little life, and then the train was going and going and going. It was not a train, I don't know what. This was Arab train was taking us.
And how long did it take you to get there?
Like 3 days. And then when we arrived, they put us in a lager where the English left.
And where was this now?
Atlit, the place called Atlit, and this was very good. They give us to eat. It was not too much food. Shabbat was very good food. They take a glass on the other side and put a piece of halva on. This was the postre. But I don't eat even this because on the boat I had from a rabbi the daughter, and I tell, you have something to eat. She said, only think what I have is halva. So okay, give me a little. I eat this halva. 6 years I don't eat halva. Imagine it if you are so bad and throwing and to give you to eat this. And this was our life very. What I tell you is nothing. What I was feeling. No sister, no mother, nobody on the world, on a boat inside. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. I arrived to Israel, they asked me, you want to be soldier? You want to go to the work, to the city, and living in a house, only girls? Or you want to go kibbutz? The end, what I find, he tell, come to our house. We don't have a house. We'll give you to sleep. It's better like you go with ugly girls, but you don't know to stay. It's better to go to the brigada, the Jewish soldier, because they are all curves. So it's better if you come in our house. We don't have children.
Who is this? Who?
The aunt, what he was working, because the husband was a bread maker, and at night he never was on the house, because the bread maker working on the night.
And this aunt's name again was Margaret?
Margalit. She bring me the
Who
bed
was she related to, your mother or your father?
to the father, sister from my father. And sister to give me the boyfriend to come, and I stay with the boyfriend till he decided to marry. Ever he tell me, August he have birthday in August. No, September one is your birthday. And so he was telling till the sister tell, no more. No married, we take her away. I was so poor, I don't know. Okay. And then I married, and the English people give him work. And with the work he make much money because he was the chief from the coffee shop. And he,
And where were you living in Israel when you were living with Marguerite?
in Netanya. Pero Netanya was only one street. It was no places to stay. All was nothing. Okay, 44. Netanya was living from one main street. Okay, and Margalit had an apartment, and he take me and tell, you will be the owner from this apartment, pero the lady don't give her to go inside on the own apartment. He cannot visit. He show me, show here, on the 6th floor, you see the window? This is my apartment. Okay. Pero in the meantime, the boyfriend begin to work, and we go to the rabbi, and we make a merit, and coming to children, and I was working.
And what were you doing when you were working?
What I doing? I go to work the best what I can. It's like sales girl, and in a salon. Pero I ever want to be one from the owners. So they put me when they fix if you need it small or big. I go there, and I was working not outside because I don't know the language. So I was working inside. I give the work for the girls and tell how I have to make it. And we went to stay in Hara Carmel, rent one room, not the apartment, one room. And I come back from the marriage. I had flowers, gladiola, it's like a basin. I shame to come on the evening after married. I made a laundry dress with the hand, light blue, and somebody give me this on the head, and this was the merit. And I make a cake with a hole, Wundertop, and I make sandwiches. Take a bread, cut, this was the preparation.
And who was at your wedding?
On
Who
the
came to your wedding?
The million friends what he have. And we had a room what we stay, pero the lady don't give us the apartment. So they come, and they was coming and was eating the sandwich what I prepare on the morning before I go to the wedding. And he take me not in a taxi, he take me in a car, like you put package on the back side, on the feet, standing. Take me to the rabbi, and the rabbi, I even don't know the name from the rabbi. The rabbi was make the wedding, and we went out from the wedding on the same, and we already had a little money. And then we had to begin the life when the English are no more here. The whole money, when they left, they was living Cadbury chocolate for putting, if you have cold much, we had a Jeep, but we buy the Jeep for $60 or $40. Okay, so this was our luck that we could arrange. And then we go and take, I ever had my head on, we will make, he don't know nothing. He want to be a professor, but I know to work. So we take a place and make a very nice decoration, and we will sell dresses. But we don't know what place to buy the dresses, and we don't have so much capital. So I arrange myself. We buy the dresses, we sell, and with the money, I go next week and I buy new. Nobody give us without money. We had to go to Tel Aviv, and it was no streets. It was to go to Tel Aviv. It was costing 2 hours or 2.5. Netanya is 26 kilometers. That's all, kilometer, no mile. It's 25 minutes, but we make it in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because the street was not on. And I was the sale girl, and I had an Arab girl who fixed me, because I made from a dress from 18 size for 12. I had to put here and here and here. They fix, because we don't have sizes, okay? So, but it was a good time. The children were small. We had a nice couple.
Tell me about the children. When were they born?
They born in Netanya.
What year?
They don't born in city Netanya, because Netanya had no hospital. The son was born in Hedera.
What year was that?
And he born in 49. And the daughter in 52 in Tel Aviv. We already had in 52 money for a hospital, one hospital. So the boy was without hospital, and the Brit Milah all on the hospital.
And how long did you stay in Israel?
14 years.
And then where did you go?
From Israel. Momentico. I am in Israel now. From Israel to Caracas.
And how did you get there?
We had a friend, one from the Million Friend. He sent us ticket with Alitalia, what you go and you pay after. And the friend who sent the ticket, he was the man, who have the credit, because they don't give us credit from this. And we go with the plane, but it was no plane, only Constellation. The trip was 3 days, 3 days. The head, when I arrived, it was like from this plane, and I want to arrive nicely, okay? Will come the end, the Margalit, to see us. I don't know where I'm going. I was telling, I bought a piece of this and I make a skirt. I had a white blouse and I will make a blue skirt with the hand on the plane. I was feeling so bad on this plane that I even don't want no water to drink. And we arrived to Israel, direct to Atlit, on the camp from the English.
Well, you were on your plane, you're going to Caracas.
A momentico.
So you arrive in Caracas.
I arrived to Caracas. The man was a man, but I had to send him $500
For the tickets? For the tickets?
No, for the ticket is with on the friend guarantee. No money.
And
We
when
need
you-
4 tickets.
And how long did you stay in Caracas?
62 years.
How old were your children?
The children learn, the girl was between 4 and 5, and the boy was like 9 years.
And when you left Caracas, where did you go? To
No place I go. I stay
how
in
long did
Caracas.
you stay in Caracas?
The whole year I stay in Caracas. I come to America all the time because I need a style and a better life, and I stay in hotel.
How old were your children when you came to the United States to stay?
They was also already. It was Jewish school in East Caracas, Jewish school. They went to Jewish school. We already had a little money. We couldn't move. Okay. My children have a very good education because the husband was telling, even Hitler can take away what you have inside. So the best what you can imagine it. My daughter had a finishing school from Suiza for 1 year to see how to receive a person, to see how to sit by the table, not with the hand, only like so. And the best education, what we had, what we give inside on these two children, okay? My daughter was piano. You see here, I have still a piano. He had piano, he had ballet, he had English. She had to learn French because in Suiza and Lausanne, in Lausanne she was learning in Lausanne the finishing school and a chateau. Okay, the best what is the
So you're telling me that your daughter moved to Switzerland?
No, from Caracas I sent her because it costs much money. We sent her to study after he finished the Hebraica to prepare a school for señoritas.
Sent her where? Where did you send her?
To Lausanne. Okay. We had a friend in Lausanne, but he was a dentist, pero he cannot work. He had a doctor, dentist, and he was working on the name from the doctor. And he tell me that the wife was a Suiza and she was learning on this school. So we arrived. This is the daughter. And the boy was École Le Mans de Lausanne because I received the operation and I bring him back because I ever was a little stupid, bring him back from the school, from the secundaria school, bring him back to Caracas. And then he finished the school in Caracas.
When did you leave Caracas? For good?
Too
Finished.
good. I tell you, when a president, I remember, if I remember well, I read, it must be 58, 57, or before. If I 63 years in Caracas, I need a time. I arrived to Israel 44, and 14,
That's 58.
58.
And how long did you, when did you come to the United States to stay?
To stay, even today I not stay because I have my apartment in Caracas. If you have a client, I have with Lubavitch, the best place, okay?
So you still have a place to stay in
to stay,
Caracas?
yeah.
Caracas.
Pero the apartment is 5 years close, okay? With furnished and all our money I put inside, study the children, and to make a home because he was telling, when you are older, you stay more on the house. It have to be a big house, and that the children coming to your house, you have to be arranged. We was living from future, you know, and from the old future was coming enough nothing. We left Caracas to come to Miami for 2 weeks, like ever, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 1 month I could not stay because I was working, and I never go back. And I come with one suitcase.
When was that? When?
And I mean one from the president left. I know a president left. He was very bad. Caracas went down and down, down. Okay, pero on this time when he was big, all people who had a little head and a little intuition to make money could make money. I made a dress for $7, okay? And the people, they don't know how I make this. But I know to work, and I know how to make it, and we sent dozens of dresses, okay? I make along the drawing. I have girl from Spain who make the first dress, and we had a place, but we cut ever 360 dresses. So I was working hard, day and night. All people was going to coffee places. I ever was thinking what I can give for tomorrow, that I have a new dress, if not. Pero the base was the dress from $7, okay? And then I come here and we live from the money what we make, okay? The husband died by 53 years, okay? And I remain with 2 children, okay? And I want to make from the children more like I am. And this was also not good. This was also wrong, okay? Children have to be like the mother. I ask my daughter, I work and I have success and don't like my dresses are very good sitting and you want to work. She tell, no, I don't like this. I don't like to make dresses. I want to be, he was working like professora in a kindergarten. This he was like it. And the son finished doctor. You know, this is such a big work. Doctor study all night, and 2 o'clock, and my house was light because he had to make the examination. And one doctor promised me when he will be ready, he take him. And in the meantime, he married, and the girl was a little empty, and he was, you know, a doctor have to have a little head, if not, he cannot.
What kind of doctor?
She don't begin to work. All they are working like surgery. So it's prepare a doctor. Finish the school, surgery. He never was AA, pero he was never something bad. He never had to make the class 2 times. He was a good boy.
And tell me your children's names again.
The boy is Rafael, Itzhak Rafael, and the girl Elia Schneider.
And do you have grandchildren as well?
From Rafael, I have 3 children. 2 girls and 1 boy.
And their names?
And from Elia, 1 boy.
Okay. And their names, your grandchildren?
The grandchildren are Joel, like the father, Natalie Ahuva, like the mother from my husband was. Ahuva is on Hebrew, my love, okay. And Natalie. I have written because I very good children, very rich parents, pero I don't have enough
And from your daughter, you have one?
from daughter one, Yoel. This, but like the father was Yoel.
And great-grandchildren? Do you have great-grandchildren?
They all have all they have children. Okay, they come to visit me sometimes, pero not too much.
How many? How many grandchildren?
How many?
Great-grandchildren?
Rafi have two, and another boy have two is four. So eight.
8 great-grandchildren.
8 grandchildren, pero very grandchildren. Okay, 8 grandchildren. Somebody learned me something from Caracas. You want grandchildren, give money. If you don't give money, is you are the grandmother, pero not a big grandmother. Pero I made money and I arranged all children. I buy apartment, I buy a car, I give the push and a good education. Pero the children died and the grandchildren received. And my daughter is directing theater from Los Angeles. I buy her the best house, and she left all for the husband. Even she died by 68 years, okay? And she left the house that if for the son, for Yoel, left the house, and the one from the best places. This house was costing $860,000, okay? The best what you can imagine it. It's a close place, okay? And he left that if they are renting the house, the money have to go to the husband, to the guy, to the husband, because he don't will have what to live. I have such a Shane, a good daughter. He was like the nicer girl from the school, okay, and all, and smart, and they don't was nothing thinking on the mother. The small money what I had, okay, it's slowly over, okay, because I don't work. You know how many years? Maybe 10 years. I don't work or more. Okay. And when I could not more work, because I went, they don't like that I have another husband, okay. One I married, the second I don't marry more because I shame from the synagogue that I go married third times, okay. So he was living with me. One was living 12 years and one was living 10 years for my life. That I could go out and come back, and for this, I never was a sleeper. I ever was walking, okay.
How often do you talk about what you experienced in Romania?
In Romanian,
How
never.
often never talk about
Never. I don't have what to talk. That I go and wait that is coming rain and it's warm water and I don't have shoes and I stay on the water on the street. No, never. I don't have the Romanian from the school. No one person, no one. And I don't have also child.
How do you think what you experienced affected the way you raise your own children? The experience that you had growing up in a poor house with dirt on the floor, how did that affect the way you raised your own children?
I don't want even to tell if I am so bad. I ever was looking to send on the best school, on the best places. I had on my house professora from piano, professora from ballet. He was sending Yoel, the son, Rafi, was even, how you call this when you have white clothes and the and the face is covered. How you call this play?
Fencing.
Even this he had. Okay, he had football. He had all what you can imagine it. These children are prepared, and then they died so young, the both children. They was first class educated. The big school after the primary 7 year, my son went in Lausanne and École Le Mans in Lausanne. Okay.
Both your biological children have passed away, both of them?
Both of them. One 68 and one 43, 5'3". I don't remember exactly what age he was, but he had a car. He went to the dentist and leave the car and take a Vespa because it was late and he want to be on the time, and come a woman and give a this, and he don't have a very good heart, okay, and died. They called me, he's on the street. I tell you, if I think over my life, I became crazy. I don't think nothing. I don't think nothing. I was having only the mother. The father died in 52. So I had the mother. I take care. I go all year to Israel to see my mother. I see the sister. I ever went through Paris to Israel to see my brother. Ever I was crying in Paris. I never enjoy Paris because I tell him, come to Caracas, you will make a little money and then you go where you want. And he was living the life, what I don't like this life. And I don't like the life from him. I ever was there. He tell, why you don't like? I have all what I need. I have food. I tell, for this is the life. What are you eating? And he was living another education, another life. And he tell, okay, prepare me a place, atelier, and I will come, I will work, and if I will work, I will make what you tell me. Okay, so send me the picture, and I make you paper to come to Venezuela, to work. For 1 year, 2 years, you will have $200,000. Okay, in 1 year, I will help you that you make money to go back to Paris. When he sent the picture, he had long hair, red hair and long. I bring the picture, they tell, this we don't need in Venezuela. They don't give a visa, and I remain with the atelier, but I put inside so much money because he tell me, to cut my hair, it's like Samson, you know. I cut my hair, I cut my strange. He don't want to cut the hair and lift me, so from him, I don't have much happiness.
If you had to think of one thing, just one thing, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
What I made good on my life. I was a very good daughter. I go ever to see my mother. I appreciate all what she was doing. She was praying that I find 2 Israeli men, that I don't was alone, okay? This was a accomplishment. And I was a good sister also, okay? Because my sister in Israel had a heavy life, and the small sister, but is 4 years younger, he had here, how you tell so? Okay.
Bad shoulder.
Yeah. And I help her ever. I go to Israel, he buy an apartment, he need 40,000 because he sell the whole apartment. I send the money in the same day. I was a good sister, and what accomplishment. I don't could work in Vizo. I was a member with a monthly payment, pero because I had to make parnasa for my house. I was holding the whole. And I don't was a very good wife because the husband died by 53 years. And the two one, they was not true, you know. They was like a stecken to hold somebody, okay. Pero they are not my father from children. Okay, this was only peace that I can go out from the house.
So with all the years, the 14 years that you lived in Israel, how are the events that are happening today in Israel affecting you?
I have Israeli television here, and I see the news day and night, and I so much pain when I see that I sit alone and I cry, because on the morning you hear what happened, and afternoon you see how they take him to the cemetery. All soldier who died is looking like a president, okay. Small eyes, smart eyes, healthy, young, 18, 20, 21. It's pain me so, you know. I left Israel and I stayed 60 years in Venezuela, pero I don't take my heart away. I am sorry that I left Israel. This 14 years was giving me much. We became mensch because we come from Hitler time, and we became in Israel all, okay. We became to be a mensch that nobody was coming after me, and okay. And then I left Israel. I don't had to leave. I had to stay there because my two sisters was living better for me. I had money, pero they don't had nothing, pero and the money is round, you know. It's coming and going. Coming and going. I want my grandchildren are living like I live. I bought apartments, I buy a car. I arrange my children like I was dreaming, the grandchildren, okay? And my children, they was study. My daughter was study, and he go to work with poor kindergarten, okay? Because he finished the school and he could be to look what he want to be. So on the meantime that he was looking, he go to give classes for children in a kindergarten. And my son, Rafi, was working. You had to be a doctor to make the papers in Venezuela. You had to work, 2 or 3 years, a work without, before you are a doctor, you have to make a work to have all kinds. So he made it in Venezuela, and he was working, and he made it very good in a very poor neighborhood with a hospital. And then he had to go to work for America, a new study. And then he don't tell me he don't want more. He had enough. He had the paper. He had doctor paper with finish. I had to help very much to arrive to this, and he don't make the examination for America because he married with a Jewish girl, and the girl was empty, no study. He liked dresses, shoes, Jewish girl.
How would you compare what's happening on the college campuses today with what was happening with the Nazis in World War II?
I don't believe that is true. I don't believe. We come from such a heavy life, and to see such a thing in America, it's incredible, incredible. I don't know how America arrived to this. This was a dream for us to arrive here.
So what do you think the answer to that would be?
What it will be?
What do you think is going to happen?
Nobody like Jews. This is a second Holocaust. A second Holocaust. And worse, what they was making, not 1 million people like the German. Pero this is like what we passed.
What can we do?
What we do?
What can we do as Americans?
One thing. Mashiach will come. You know who is Messiah. Pero he will only come when all the people will hold Shabbat. This can be never. Never. Okay. Shabbat was ever the biggest day from the week. So, Mashiach is coming how many years? 6,000 years, and he still not arrived. You know?
How do you think we can fight hatred? How can we fight all this hatred and teach people to
Because
love?
the Jewish are the causer. They are not together. They are not. Look what problem they make from Netanyahu. Then Netanyahu give the life. The brother died, you know when? He gave the life for Israel. And people was telling that he had a big dinner on the house. You can be a diplomat without dinners. You have to be dressed for the dinners. You have to have a big house. But the people don't understand this, okay. They were small and they remain small. Pero the work from the Jewish people are so full that it was a time when they was telling this is a small America. It will hold more few years so we will be like America and all. They don't was importing nothing. They had factory. They have big people for what you have on the car, how to go is also coming from Israel. They was they had all here on the head, okay? And this was and the earth is giving in Israel what you want. If you want without a melon, without inside the inside, they arrange it. Because this, what I tell institute, what I tell you, they want coffee, pero they don't have enough time because they change it for something more medicinal, okay? Pero this Weizmann Institute was, from there is coming all was you can live in Israel from earth because the earth is giving you what you want. You know Israel good? Pero if you go to see good you know, then you can see that they don't need nothing. Okay, they had all.
How would you describe yourself today?
Today,
How would you describe yourself as a person today?
I describe that I'm happy, but it's not easy to be old. Not easy. First, the people, when they hear 90, 90, God help, God bless you, God bless. But in the meantime, they say, who need an old woman? This is all nothing. Okay. I'm happy if I see what happened, and I wish, first I wish that he hold me till 100. And then I will be that I cannot, on the house I walk with a walker, you know, but on the street, no. Pero ever I hold the hand and I walk. You see me so, pero this is only for the house. I don't go so out. I go all week to make my hair. And the young people are telling, Ibi, you are not old. You are not old. Like, what is the old people? You know, old people are heavy. Okay. I don't was heavy. I have a very good figure. But now with this, I don't know what happened. Changed my body, changed the whole. And then I have no family. This is the first what I have. Okay. That I have nobody. Okay, nobody.
What message would you like to leave for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and all those family members that come afterwards? What message would you like to leave?
I have on this small family 4 guys. 4 guys. My daughter married a guy. Okay. My son divorced the Jewish, the doctor, the Jewish girl. Okay. Pero the children for my grandchildren, the children, the both married guys.
So what would you like to tell them about what you
that is so nice to
experienced
be a Jew?
that you experienced as a Jewish person? What would you like to leave as a message for them?
Because they don't learn enough Jewish to be, and I will tell them that it's so nice to be Jew. You are we was somebody with pleasure. We was telling after the war we are Jew, and now we arrive that they tell don't go with a kippah on the street because they in New York they children pegar, okay. This time now from the Jew is not a nice time, pero it can help one work.
What's it?
All together. If they don't go, one is with contra Jewish, one is for Jewish, one is don't like Jewish, one married mixed marriage. This is very bad for us, very bad, because all bring a piece of all together. We will be again like before. How much year I will tell you? 10 years. Before 10 years, we was somebody on the world. Look, gypsies. I live with gypsies also. I know what is a gypsy. They was killing more gypsies like Jew, and they are over. No more nation. No more gypsies on the world. Now they call Romaim, Roman. Okay. You know why it happens this? Because they don't have who take care. You know, you are sitting here, pero if you are a Jew, they take care of you. If it happens something, you are somebody. You are one Jew is crying 10 after the Jew who died, okay? And if we lose this, we don't have what to look here, okay? We don't have, this is not only the name, this is a nation with character, with big people, with smart, intelligente, okay? They know all. You know what they was telling? If this president who want to be a president, how you call him? Not guy, not the president.
President Biden?
No, this is nothing. This is a old guy. The another one.
We can't get into politics, so we're not going to talk about anything
I
political.
am for the another one. Because the another one can be an Israel and one day on president, not look for him for problems. The another one, you know, money speaks, okay. Pero he's not a Jew. And you know, now we have a new big person. This from Argentina. You know him? He tell me, if he finish, he tell in the television, I don't know him personally, he tell me if he finish the 4 year the presidency, what he will be. He's going to learn Torah. Because on the Torah is all inside. This is the dream from him. The name from him is when you see, you know, I have big problem with the names. Okay? Pero when you see something from Brazil, from Argentina, don't forget, no Brazil, Argentina. You know, Argentina had ever, all the German was going to Argentina. And this was much Jew there. It was more from 100,000 Jew was living in Argentina. And other places, all was living 400, 2,000, 3,000, pero not much people. Okay. Caracas was 27,000. Okay. And the all places was living few. Pero Argentina was 100,000.
So what would you like to say to your grandchildren?
To the grandchildren, I want that they take care that they are Jews, because all the grandchildren is married with guys. And I saw Jewish inside that I don't want to be bad, but I am bad when I see this. And my daughter, what I love her so much, he married also a guy. So how I can tell Yoel why you married? He had 4 friends in Los Angeles, all from the school, all Jewish, all married Jewish girls, okay? Only one idiot, my grandson, who married. So you have answer for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Answer you don't have for me. Why I receive this? Why I receive to have the children guys?
I can't answer that.
I tell it a cause because my husband, he was one child, and they was modern people. They don't was Orthodox. They don't study the child. And Yoel was, my mother, but he was so Jewish, he don't have hair. He had the pellica. He tell, I have one grandson, no grandson, the husband from Ibi, and this I love the mostly. He is not very Jewish, but I love him, okay, because he's a mensch. He's okay. So I only tell you to grow up and not to change the work. I would like that they are be like I was. Honest money. I made money, honest money. I don't buy contra law, no religion contra what I don't can, okay? I was working with money, and no checks and this, all this, okay? Very normal place and very correct business, okay? And I don't was enough study to be a little bigger, okay? I want to be bigger, pero I don't have the preparation. I would like to pay that somebody give me a work, pero I don't know nothing to make, because writing is not, and reading is not. And the languages, what I know is only from street languages, because I never study, okay? Okay, in no school, okay? And even if I know something better from one what study, but if you don't study, you are nothing, okay? This is what I want, that the children, but the children are already married. I only with guys, okay?
I'd like to thank you for doing this interview.
Pero you feel, who is interested on this ugly life? I don't can tell you nothing. I can tell you only that my parties was ever the nicer. Okay, I don't prepare food what is speaking and no with goyish food. My parties was ever brunch party, you know, with music, and all was singing and all was feeling very good. And I don't have much people who don't love me, okay, not too much. I have few, because the causer, yeah, is I am, that I am not enough. I tell what I feel, okay, and this is not good, you know. Or nobody like the truth, okay. Pero if I don't like this to her, then I am the causer. I want to tell you, if you don't like something what I tell, please. Because I have nothing nice to tell you, really. I had no childhood, no study, okay? When I could make a little for me, I had to work to give parnasa from the family. My husband, I make him even a store in Natania for men's clothes. Pero no man in Natania was wearing only khaki, you know, short pants, and that's all. And in Caracas, when we arrived, he learned before we come to be a cutter from dresses. He is not prepared for a cutter. He was one child, what he was studying. They bring the clothes what he was wearing from Vienna to Chernovitz, okay? And the mother was telling, don't marry this girl because this is a poor girl, Pero he was telling, I don't mind, because if I married again, if I died and I married again, only so I will take. This was the biggest word what he was using to me. Pero, you know, children, what they don't grow up with children, they are different children, you know. They don't have the love on the life. They are solistas. I want to tell you, I don't mind if you close all this all this speech with me, because I don't see nothing nice and interesting what I tell you. Okay.
It's all very interesting, and again, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview. Thank you.
If you can a little to change this and a little more that I help somebody, I was ever helping because I know from Yiddishkeit much. I know what you can eat, what you cannot eat. I know what you can as Jewish to make. I know what is Shabbat, 100%. I go to the synagogue now also to Turnberry, okay? They made me a very nice birthday. It was before 2 years, and the rabbi come, and the cake bring the girl this for a gift, and the rabbi tell me, from what place, Ibi, you have so nice people? I tell, they are nice, what I know from here. They're very nice people. He cut the cake, and he was giving for the people. Come with the plate, and I was giving for the cake. And yesterday, the rabbi take me, not yesterday Shabbat, yesterday Shabbat, Ibi, you see your picture on the wall, not on the front, because I sit on the picture, so, with the head down, and I tell such ugly people, a big picture, and he tell, come, I will show you your picture from the birthday.
What's this rabbi's name? This one?
This from here. From Turnberry, the rabbi. We have 2 rabbis, one Spanish and one is an American rabbi. Young, very nice rabbi, very smart. You know the name maybe.
Is there anything more you'd like to add to this interview?
To ask?
No, to add. Anything you'd like that we didn't discuss that you'd like to add to the interview?
I don't want to make the people upset for my small life, what I can tell you, okay? And I tell you only one thing. If I 6 months on this life from this time, I'm not here, because this was the end from the end, okay? And then I go to Israel, and this was helping me. Okay.
Thank you.